All right, what's up, everybody? Sitting up here in Forest Park, Georgia today, and truck was getting a little hot. It started to get a little bit over 200, so I just turned it off, let the windows down a little bit, and turn it off. But man, it's cold. It's cold today. That's why I got my hoodie on. Anyway, back here chilling out. The stuff I got today, they're unloading back there. It's not even on pallets. So they're going to be a minute. Yesterday, the stuff I had was going up to Marietta. It was not on pallets. Took them a good 2 hours to get it unloaded. So anyway, just wanted to come back with an update today. Thinking about switching companies. I know I've said that before, but I'm really thinking about it right now. So, the company I'm with now, like I've said it before, I'll say it a million times, the people are great, easy to work for, one dispatcher, love it. So, that's been kind of hard for me to let go of, because it's just easy to deal with it. On the flip side, it's not easy to deal with because of appointment times. So this company does not have a lot of drop and hook accounts, which when I started this, didn't realize how beneficial that was, and didn't realize what it could mean if the company that you're working for had drop and hook accounts versus live unload accounts. So here's the issue. So say I want to run early all week, which everybody knows is how I like to run. I like to get up 2, 3 in the morning and be home at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Maybe even earlier than that a lot of times. 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock. The earlier the better, So say I want to do that, and on Monday I got a load that delivers at 7 in the morning, and I'm able to do that because I went and picked it up on a Sunday. So I get home, and then I need me an appointment for 8 or 9 the next morning. So I get up at 2 o'clock or whatever in the morning and do my thing, be in Atlanta for my 9 o'clock appointment, and be done and go home. And I'd like to keep that same schedule all week, but the problem runs into, okay, so I do that 9 o'clock delivery on Tuesday and I go home. They call me with a load for the next day, and the only thing they got is like a 1 o'clock for the next day. Okay, well, that's going to put me getting home real late, like 6 o'clock, 5, 6 o'clock. Which means the next day I got to take a late load again, which totally throws me off the way I want to be running for the rest of the week. And sometimes they'll call, so like I take that 1 o'clock, I get home at 5 the next day. Then they'll call me the next day with a load that's like 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning, 8. I can't take it now because I done the previous day I took a 1 p.m. load and didn't get home till 6 o'clock. That don't leave me enough time to leave out the next morning, go over to Savannah, get my load, and then be back in Atlanta. So the appointment times, they really run into problems. If they had tons of loads and they had all kind of different appointment times and they knew what kind of... See, here's the thing. As much as I love the company that I work for, they don't dispatch. It's like first come, first serve. They just go down the list. And we rotate through the week our call times, So 1 week, my call time might be early on Monday, and then get later as I go through the week. And then the next week, it'll be later and get earlier as it goes through the week, as far as my call times go. And they just do it like that instead of doing it like, well, this driver likes to run early and be home early. This driver likes to wake up late and be home late. There's got to be enough variance in there that all the loads could still get covered just fine, because different drivers like to run different schedules. I've talked to plenty of drivers out here that work for my company that run different schedules than me. Give the loads that are appropriate for the driver's schedule, but it don't work that way. So anyway, I'm looking at this company, and they have an account that's a drop and hook account that is 40 miles from my house. Load pays $600 a day, or $600 a load, which, you know, these loads that I do up here, they're like $670, sometimes $720, sometimes $630. You know, I really don't have any that are only $600, so that kind of sucks. But I'm also doing over 500 miles a day right now. I did the calculations. If I did this other run, drop and hook, it's only 300 and something miles round trip for me to leave my house, go to the port, go to the customer, and then back to my house, because it's only 40 minutes from my house. Nowhere near Atlanta. It's not even in that direction. So that's great. That saves fuel. That means that I don't have to put as much fuel in the truck as I would if I was going up towards Atlanta. Another downside, they're heavy. They're overweight. So you got an overweight permit, which means you're going to use more fuel in that area. But anyway, I think that I can make some money doing it. It's drop and hook, 24 hours. 24 hours drop and hook. And the only difference is I have to start going into the port. The port's not 24 hours over here. It opens up at 6 in the morning, I think. So what I'm doing is it's export. So I'm going to the customer, picking up the load, and dropping off an empty, picking up a load, taking it to the port, and then getting it empty at the port and going back to the customer. So I could get 6 loads a weekend because it's 24 hours, see? So I can go on Sunday over there to the place, be sitting on it Monday morning, wake up early Monday morning, be at the port at 6 o'clock, drop it off, pick up an empty, go back to the customer, drop my empty, pick up a load, go back to the port, drop it off, pick up an empty, and then go home. Then Tuesday morning, wake up and do the rest of the 4 days, 1 load a day. So I can squeeze 6 loads in there, so that helps. So I could potentially be making more than I am here, especially since I'm still only getting 4 days a week over here, man. And it's not even now because there's not loads. It's because of the time conflicts. There's not enough loads to where, okay, so say on a Friday or on a Thursday, they call me for my dispatch for Friday. They got 2 things, and I can't take either one of them because of the time. And that's happening at least once a week. They call me with a couple loads, and I can't take either one of them because of the appointment time. That sucks. That's like you was that close to having a load. And, I've even asked them, like, try to get it rescheduled. Do something. They're not gonna. So this other company is a way bigger company. They have tons of accounts. If you get tired on one drop and hook account, they got accounts in Fairburn, Palmetto, Georgia, and that's all South Atlanta. And those are good runs. Those are good runs, especially because they pay more than $600 and they're light. But my deal is that load that I'm talking about, doing that account, is so close to my house, man. Like, there's so much other stuff that I could be doing. If I got home at 11 o'clock every day, other than Monday, because I'm trying to squeeze that extra load in there every week. But if I could get home that early, I could focus on some of the other business ventures that I'm trying to do, like my sunglasses. So, anyway, that's really all that's going on right now. Just got a PM done on my truck 2 weeks ago, I think I told y'all when I got it done. And they did the fuel filter, all that kind of stuff. My truck's starting to get worse fuel mileage. Like, I'm dropping from like averaging 7.1, 7.2 to 6.7, and I don't know what the deal is. So I don't know what could be causing that. I'm really not pulling any heavier than I normally do. I normally pull a couple of heavy loads a week, and I'm still averaging about that. Also, like I mentioned at the start of the video, my truck is running hot. I wouldn't say hot, but if it sits in idles, it's wintertime now. If it sits in idles, it's idling well over 200, like almost 220 or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, something like that. 220 or so. So I'm just turning it off. I don't have any kind of warnings or anything on. I take that back. I had a warning come on the other day, to my engine warning, and I was freaking out. But all it was my coolant level was low. Which I know you're not supposed to use coolant either. So I filled that up. That's the first time that's been low since I've had the truck. And the other day, I noticed that up by my firewall on my truck, on my passenger side, some hoses come into the firewall right there, and I'm leaking coolant from there, from one of the hoses, and I don't even know why coolant would be up there. So if anybody's got any idea as to what that would be, I don't know if it's something for the heater, the air conditioner, but I don't know why my red coolant, my antifreeze, would be up there. So if anybody knows what that's about, let me know, because that's where I'm losing my coolant, because it's not coming out anywhere else. But I saw a leak coming from the bottom of the truck. I traced it up, and that's where it's coming from. I don't know what's right there. It's right there with all the air conditioning stuff, and I didn't know that the air conditioning stuff, any of that used coolant. Still don't. So anyway, that's all that's going on right now, guys. Let me know what y'all think about doing a drop and hook account, doing these containers, and going into the port. All my buddies that go into the port, they say it's not that bad over here. On a bad day, you might be in there an hour and a half. But I sit at customers now, way up here in Atlanta, for 2.5 hours sometimes. So it's just a trade-off, really. You're saving your time at the customer, and because it's drop and hook, but then you're spending more time on the Savannah side. So anyway, that's it for today. Just a little short video. Well, it ended up being about 15 minutes, so not really that short. But stay real, guys. Stay safe out there. We'll holler at y'all later.